All right. We are in there like swimwear. Welcome to day 3 of the Elevated Coach Challenge, where we have gathered together to talk about anchoring your confidence, tapping into your abundance. And today we are going to talk about creating goals that are, just no brainers, and they magnetize you in that direction to become a client magnet. So I'm pumped and excited because I'm going to really pull back the curtains and share one of the most fascinating and profound and life-changing tools called time techniques, where you can create an achievable goal to be able to move in that direction and actually to be able to activate it, to bring it to fruition. So I'm super, super pumped and excited. Hey, welcome. I see some people in the group. All right. So let's dive in. I'm excited that you're here. So the last 2 days, we have really talked about some of the most amazing tools. We talked about anchoring. We talked, which is an NLP technique. We've talked about tapping, which is an amazing tool that really grounds you. I was talking to my biz bestie earlier, and she was running into a little bit of a challenge. And I'm like, girl, tap it out, because that is my go-to. And so I was really, really excited over the last 2 days to be able to bring these amazing tools to you, because, oh my goodness, they are so much fun and just so awesome. And the great news is, once you learn these tools once, you get to come back to them again and again and again, which is so exciting. So I'm excited that you're here today, because we're going to dive in and talk about how to become a client magnet. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our goals as it relates to calling in those soulmate clients, those clients that light you up, those clients that when you show up for a session, you just can't help but to get excited. Those clients who you're like, you know what, I know that I'm called to work with them. Those clients that you just automatically feel attracted to. And so we're going to talk about your goal as it relates to that. We're going to put it in your future timeline, and we're going to help make it so that you have no choice but to move in that direction, and in turn, call in those soulmate clients. So we're going to use a technique called time techniques, which is one of my favorite techniques that I actually teach about inside of the Elevate Method certification program. And this modality is so impactful and so powerful. And I'm excited to be able to teach you all about it today. So with life and success coaching, and the reason I want to share this is because as a coach, right, we're all here because we want to become a coach, and we want to elevate our business and our success. And as a coach, I think a lot of times people believe that you have to know all of the answers. They believe that coaching is exactly like talk therapy, but this is going to be a perfect example of how coaching can be so expansive and so creative, and just such a safe place for people to share their vision, and for you to be able to be that bridge that helps them to see where they are and helps them to get to where it is they want to be, helps to facilitate that lasting transformation and change. So when we think about coaching, I want to say coaching is not counseling. It is not telling your clients all the answers. Coaching is coaching. It's teaching your clients that they already have the answers within themselves, and they just get to lean in and trust themselves to pull it out. You get to support your clients at pulling that out. Coaching isn't chasing money. It's prioritizing impact. And that's one thing that I've learned along this journey. When I prioritized money, I always felt like I was running into this resistance, right? When I prioritized how to have an impact with my clients, things changed tremendously, tremendously. All right. Coaching is allowing clients to feel supported to move beyond their comfort zone without feeling like they're feeling forced or feeling like they have to hustle or strategize their way there, but really creating that safe space where they get to move beyond it. It's not just telling them that it's safe to stay in their comfort zone, because we all know there's no growth there, right? Coaching is future oriented. I see a lot of times where people want to focus so bad on the past and everything that happens on the past. But one thing that I've learned about our subconscious mind is whatever the subconscious mind holds is what it's drawn towards. And when we put all of our energy and all of our effort and all of our focus in the past, that's where we're going to be headed. And we want to move towards the future. All right. So that's what healthy and quality coaching is. And then it's empowering the client. It's not imposing your external agenda like, oh, no, I'd rather you create this program because that's better for me to learn from you. Or I'd rather you do this, It's about empowering the client to lean into what's inside of them and supporting them at bringing that together. And that's what I get to do with you guys today. And you guys are going to see as I walk you through one of these amazing sessions that I usually walk my clients through, which is so, so exciting. Hi, hello, welcome. So in NLP and with life and success coaching, we recognize that there's a difference between states and there's a difference between states and outcomes. So states are essentially, and we'll actually break that down and talk about them, but the subconscious mind loves specificity. So by setting outcomes or goals rather than states, you give your mind something to lock onto and to be able to move toward, all right? So let's talk about that. A value or a state is the same, and then a goal and an outcome is the same. So it's a value or a state is something that's stated ambiguously, like I just want to feel better, or I just want to lose weight, right? That's stated ambiguously because what does weight look like? What does feel better look like, right? We want to know the specifics around it. So you want it to be stated specifically. A value or a state is infinite and it's not really measurable. There's not a way for us to measure it, whereas a goal and an outcome is measurable. The value or the state also is it has a savior complex. I remember when I was starting my business, I always said, I want to be successful in my business. And my idea of creating success was not me getting out here and sharing what I had to offer. It was me getting really, really lucky one day at a conference that I would meet somebody who would help me and show me off on their platform, right? That's how I thought I was going to be successful. And so what ended up happening is I stopped relying on myself and I started to put all this effort into somebody just highlighting that I was great, right? And then I missed the value that I had. It took a lot of work to shift that, to be intentional about changing that. A value or a state is future tense. So it always feels so far in the future. It feels like you have so much time to get there. Whereas a goal or an outcome is current tense, right here, right now. Because when you tell your subconscious mind that it's already here, your subconscious mind will never make you out to be a liar and wants to seek how it can get there. A value or a state is a way motivated versus a goal or outcome is toward motivated. And let me break this down because when I learned this changed my entire perspective about goal setting. So when we set goals either trying to get away from something or trying to move towards something. So for example, I have clients that will say, I want to get out of my soul-sucking 9-to-5. That's a way motivated versus toward motivated is I want to create a profitable and impactful business, right? That changes people's lives. The difference is, like I mentioned earlier, what your subconscious mind holds is what it's drawn towards. And so when you hold this concept or this idea or this belief that you want to get out of your soul-sucking 9-to-5, what ends up happening is you actually end up becoming more drawn to that than you desire. Versus if you're toward motivated, you move toward the thing that it is that you want, which is creating that business that you desire. So even in the way that we state the things that we desire in our life, we have to be intentional about making sure that it's stated specifically, making sure that it's measurable, making sure that we're not trying to put all our effort and energy into other people fixing or answering everything for us, making sure that we're focused on it being in the current tense, not something that we're like, I'll get to that eventually. And making sure it's toward motivated, something that we're moving toward, not something that we're moving away from. So it's so important. All right, so let's talk SMART goals, but we're not going to talk SMART goals in the way that you think, right? There's an acronym of SMART goals that we're all familiar with, but what I want to talk about is a way to set a goal in a way that's more achievable, to create those achievable outcomes that you desire, all right? So I want you to take a brief moment, and it's so interesting in this picture. It looks like the mirror is dirty, but it's actually the wall showing on that picture. I just noticed that. Anyways, I want you to take a quick moment and I want you to think about what is the outcome that you desire, okay? I want you to think about what is that outcome that you want. When you think about becoming this client magnet, when you think about this business that draws in those soulmate clients, when you think about the impact that you get to have and the income you get to call in, what is the outcome that you desire, okay? And one thing that I've learned about our subconscious mind is our subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's made up and what's reality. And the cool thing about that is when we pull in all of our senses with it, our subconscious mind seeks it. It wants to make sure that you're telling the truth. It'll never make you out to be a liar. So it looks for the ways to bring it to fruition. All right. So as you're thinking about the outcome that you desire, I want you to think about what will you see? What will you hear? And what will you feel as you bring this to fruition. I want you to bring in all of the senses. What will you see? Will you see PayPal and Stripe alerts showing up on your phone? Will you hear clients thanking you for all the amazing work that you've done and the ways that you showed up for them? Will you feel so proud of yourself because you've honored the decision to not only talk about your vision, but to actually show up for it? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to break down the SMART acronym. So inside of your workbook, you're going to see that you can kind of break this down. If you did not print that, that is okay. You can pull out a sheet of paper, but I definitely want you to be able to write this down. So powerful. So as you think about your goal, is it specific, right? And this is the part of the SMART acronym that we know. And then the next part is, can you see yourself in it? Remember, I said, when we bring in all of our senses and we make it real, it makes it like it's impossible that we shouldn't be able to move towards it, right? It makes it impossible to not be able to move towards it. So I want you to see yourself there. And I want you to see yourself in it. Next, I want you to think about, how would you measure this goal? So maybe for you, it looks like that you're going to have 2 clients by the end of this month, right? Or maybe it looks like you're going to have 1 pay in full client and 4 payment plan clients. Really getting specific. And I want you to measure. I want that goal to be measurable. You can't just say, I want more clients. I want you to be really specific about what this looks like. And then I want you to consider, is this goal meaningful to you? Because here's the thing, if it is not meaningful to you, you are not going to show up for it. I remember my aunt became a health food coach, and she was telling me all the reasons that dairy was awful and dairy wasn't good. And so I'm like, okay, but I like milkshakes. I like cheese. So I kept eating it because I set the goal to not eat dairy. I maybe lasted 2 days and I was like, oh, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. But then when my daughter was born, she developed an intolerance to dairy. And so my entire cooking and arrangements for dinner changed, because that goal became meaningful to me. So I showed up for it way different than when it was somebody else's goal that they were throwing towards me. Next, I want you to think about, is this goal attainable? Okay. So if you have, for example, when we think of goals, if you have not even told anyone that you've opened your coaching business, but you want 1 client by the end of this week, how do we make that goal attainable? So maybe that looks like, the goal is attainable because I'm going to launch my freebie this month, and by the end of next month, I'll have 2 new clients or something, right? We're really working on making that goal attainable. I'm not going to say that I could run a marathon tomorrow if I haven't run since high school. Same idea. We want to make sure the goal is attainable, but also still stretches us a little bit. The next part, the NLP component to SMART goals, is, are you stating it as if now? I want you to be really cognizant and cautious of avoiding the part of saying, I will eventually have a coaching business, or I will one day get coaching clients. I want you to state it as if now, right? I have 3 amazing clients that paid in full and were so excited to work with me. State it as if it is happening right here and right now, because your subconscious mind is going to seek to make that real, to help you to actually manifest that. The next thing is, I want you to think about, is this goal relevant? So one of the things that I like to think about is values. Why is this goal relevant for you? How does this relate to your values? One of my values is impact and legacy. Those are things that are really important to me. So when I think about setting goals of calling in soulmate clients and the impact I can have in their life, all that comes up for me is the possibility to create this amazing ripple effect. I create change within them, and then they go out to work with more people, they create more change, and then it continues to expand and elevate from there. It's so powerful. The next question, is it responsible? So is this goal safe for everyone involved? Is it safe for you? Is it safe for your clients? Is it safe for your family and your values and your integrity? Really tuning into that. And these are great reflective questions for you to consider and for you to contemplate, because when you're laying out goals, the biggest mistake that I see people make is they just throw out goals all willy-nilly, and they don't realize that there's so many components to creating those achievable outcomes that they get to actually accomplish. And this is why January 12th is titled National, or I think it's 19th, January 19th, it's titled National Quitters Day. And it's not because most people don't want to accomplish their New Year's resolution. It's because they start off strong, but then they don't have a plan or a process to see it through. But you are getting ready to circumvent that so that doesn't become a reality for you. The next thing is it time-based. All right. So what is the time frame that you're putting on it? Again, we're really understanding that it's going to happen, having that time frame and making sure that you are toward motivated. So not pushing away from what you don't want, but moving toward what you do want. Because actually what you think about, what you hold is what you're going to be moved towards. So if you're trying to get away from, like I mentioned, that soul-sucking 9 to 5, you're going to find yourself being drawn more and more and more to it. When you find yourself focused on this impactful and powerful and crazy, amazing business, you're going to find yourself moved towards that. And you're going to find yourself lit up by that, right? And just in a few short months, you'll see yourself showing up in amazing ways with ideas coming out of nowhere because you're drawn to it, drawn to bring this vision to life. So as you contemplate that, one thing that I want you to really think about is I want you to think about your why. What is your why? Here's one thing that I know. Creating big visions and big goals and moving towards them is challenging. I mean, absolutely challenging. Not to say that it's not fun, not to say that it's not worth it. But one thing that I do know is when we overwhelm ourselves with the process of trying to figure out how we're going to make it happen, we can exhaust ourselves before we begin. So having a powerful why helps you to make room for the how. Let me explain. When I wrote my very first book, I didn't know how I was going to find time to write it. I didn't know how I was going to market. I didn't know how I could eventually get to the point of becoming an Amazon bestselling author, even though I desperately desired it. But I knew what my why was. My why was to leave a legacy for my 2 beautiful daughters. And so even though my alarm clock went off at 5:30 in the morning when I was waking up and writing, and I wanted so badly, desperately was tempted to hit snooze, I kept showing up because my desire to leave a legacy was so much bigger than my desire to stay asleep. So what is your why? What keeps you showing up? Here's what I want to share with you. Someone, somewhere, someone is waiting on you to do what it is that you're called to do. So you got to show up. And today you've already done that by being here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a couple seconds. And I'm going to have you write out your goal. Okay. And I want you to write it in present tense. So it is now, I want you to act like it's happening now. It is now July 2022 or whatever date you want to plug in. It is now July 2022. And I have 10 amazing women in my brand new membership. I am so proud of the work that I put into this. And I show up every day because I'm so inspired by their visions and their dreams. I want you to write this goal out as if it is happening right now. And I want you to tune in and I want you to let every emotion, feeling, and sensation and desire, I want you to let it all come up. And as you're doing that, I am going to pull out an amazing script that I have that walks us through the process of really putting this goal into your future timeline. Okay, so go ahead and write your goal out and I will get that all up and ready to go. So this is one of the things that we teach inside of my Elevate method because I feel like it is so important to arm coaches with amazing tools that when they show up for their clients, they know that they create massive and amazing transformation and change. So we have, 380 pages in here in a manual that literally walks you through supporting your clients on a very, 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 very deep level. So yeah, I want you to go ahead and start writing that down. And then once we have it ready to go, we are going to put that goal into your future timeline. Okay. So I want you to buckle up. I want you to get ready. I want you to get comfortable. We're going to get started. All right. Now, inside your workbook too, we do have a section where you can complete your commitment contract, which is where you can put your goal there. One thing that I always highly suggest is placing your goal on that commitment contract and then printing it and hanging it somewhere that you can reference it. So this could also look like you taking a picture of it and putting it as your screensaver on your phone. This could look like you setting it beside your bed or on your cosmetic mirror. So when you're brushing your teeth or doing your makeup in the morning, you can reference it. But this is so powerful because when we keep our goal in the forefront of our mind, it really informs our decisions and our steps. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in and make these goals your reality. I'm so excited. So here's the thing. We have a timeline, and our life is a giant compilation of different events, and it's almost like a pearl sequence. So we have different experiences in our life that create different emotions. Okay, so we have things that create different emotions, different limiting decisions or limiting beliefs, feelings, all of the things. And so what we're going to do is we're not going to focus on the past. We're not going to focus on a specific event. We are going to focus on the future, but we are going to act as if it has happened now. And we are going to then embed that goal, that desire into your future timeline using this amazing technique and modality to be able to do that so that you can't help but be magnetized and drawn to it. Okay. So I want you to take a brief moment. I want you to just close your eyes and I want you to contemplate and reflect on that vision, the vision that we laid out, that desire that you have. Okay. And then I want you to think about what is the very last thing that will happen that lets you know that you have achieved it. What's that very last thing that has happened? Okay. So maybe for you, it's that you have 10 amazing clients inside of your coaching program, or you have 10 one-on-one clients, or whatever it may be. What's that very last thing that happened? Is it that PayPal alert? Is it that final DM message? Is that final email? Is it your assistant telling you that, you had another person, or you sign up, or you hit that goal? What is that last thing that lets you know that you've achieved it? Now I want you to make an internal representation, or a picture, a sound, or a feeling. I want you to come up with what you feel when that's happening. Okay. Do you see yourself jumping for joy? Do you see yourself calling your significant other or a friend? Do you see yourself celebrating, going out for a glass of wine? What do you see, hear, or feel? Okay. I want you to bring all of that in. Maybe you taste something, right? What's coming up for you? And I want you to hold tight to that feeling, or that picture, or that sound, or maybe it's all three that's coming up for you. And I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Okay. If you take that picture and you turn it black and white, does that make you want it more? If you want it more when it's black and white versus color, I want you to dial it down. If color feels more aligned, I want you to brighten it up till it feels just right. Then I want you to think about where that picture is located. Is it to your left? Is it to your right? Is it in front of you? I want you to bring it to a location that feels perfect for you. Now I want you to think about, is that feeling or that picture or that sound near or far? I want you to bring it as close as feels comfortable, as close as feels enticing or exciting for you. Is that feeling or sound or picture bright or dim? I want you to really brighten it up or dim it down until it feels perfect. What's the size of the picture? Is it big? Is it small? Is it in between? What feels good? Do we need to enlarge it or size it down a little bit? Now, I want you to look at that picture that comes up for you, and are you associated or are you dissociated? Meaning, are you in the picture or are you in the outside looking at it? Maybe you need to jump in, or maybe you need to pull back. Whatever feels right is right. Trust your subconscious mind to tell you. Is the picture focused or is it defocused? Which one feels good for you? And as far as the focus, is it changing or is it steady? Feel into what feels aligned. Is the picture framed or is it panoramic that you can see the whole way around? What feels good? Is this picture a movie or is it a still picture? Does moving make you excited and ready to go get it? Or when it's still, does that light you up? Trust your subconscious mind to let you know. If there's sounds present, I want you to think about the location from where the sounds are coming from. Is it all around you? In front of you? Tune into that sound. And I want you to ask yourself, does it feel good the way that I can hear it right now? And if not, what do you need to make it more enticing in the way that you hear it? Are the sounds coming from internally, like inside? Do you feel it inside or hear it inside? Or are they coming from the external world? Are the sounds loud or soft? Do you need to make them louder or do you want to quiet them down? What feelings are coming up for you? Do you feel the intensity of those feelings? Is it really intense that you just can't help but be drawn towards it? Or is it just slightly intense and you're still excited about it? Whatever way feels right, trust that. Is there a shape to the feelings? Maybe the shape is a heart or a square, or maybe there's no shape at all. That's okay. What size are the feelings? Are they so big and huge? Or are they just slightly there and that's okay? They're just a little smaller. What is the location of those feelings? Do you feel them from all over? Is there a location with them at all? Really tune into that. I want you to create the most desirable and strongest feeling. And it's like you're playing with it almost like a TV, old school TV knob. Now, I want you to take that feeling, that picture, or that sound that came up for you, and I want you to step out of that. I want you to dissociate yourself from it, okay? And then I want you to take it and I want you to put it so far above your timeline, okay? And then I'm going to have you breathe 4 energizing breaths into this, okay? This breath is bringing the outcome to life and energizing your vision with each breath you take. So I want you to breathe in and breathe out. That's 1. Breathe in and breathe out. That's 2. Breathe in and breathe out. That's 3. I want you to breathe in and breathe out. That's 4. And I want you to stay above your timeline, continue to float there. And I want you to take that internal representation, that picture, that sound, and that feeling that you've created out into the future date that you've identified in the goal that we set. And then I'm going to have you drop it into that date. I want you to see yourself with these clients. I want you to hear yourself talking to these clients. I want you to hear the reviews that they're leaving you. I want you to feel the feelings of how proud you are for showing up for your vision. I want you to feel excited knowing that these PayPal and Stripe notifications are coming back to back. But even more importantly, I want you to feel lit up because you're getting so many reviews and the impact is tremendous. You're creating your own massive ripple effect and you've created a quantum leap because you said yes to your vision today. I want you to feel all of that. And I want you to notice how things in your life right now are already starting to change because of this goal in your future timeline. So even though we've put this goal in the future, things are changing all the way back to right now in this moment. Decisions that you're making, thoughts that you're thinking, commitments that you're committed to, ways that you're showing up, ways that you talk to yourself and the ways you talk to other people. things are changing even right now. And what I'm going to ask you to do, because I know our conscious mind likes to kick in at this point, is I'm going to ask you to release the need to know how it can happen. The how is not ever going to make sense, but trust that your subconscious mind, much like a robot, is already going to direct you there. Your subconscious mind is going to give you the tools and the steps and the strategies that you need to actually see this entire vision through. Trust the process. All right, when you are ready and you're all lit up and excited, I want you to slowly open your eyes, take 2 deep grounding breaths, and then I want you to come back to the here and right now. And I'd love to open up to see if anyone has any questions about what we just did and the experience you had. Now, one thing I know after time techniques is I often feel a little bit sleepy or a little bit tired, but it's just my body's way of working through things. It's just my body's way of just really setting the tone and laying that foundation of what's to come. So feel free to type either in the Facebook group or type here on the Zoom chat what's coming up for you if you have questions. I am all ears and excited. Yes, you feel relaxed. I love that. I love that. I always feel so relaxed after a time session. And it's so interesting because it always feels just like, oh my gosh, it just gets to be mine. I think the truth is we overcomplicate things. We overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated. What's desired by you is available for you. I'm a firm believer that it wouldn't have been laid in your heart unless it was something that's open and available for you. The truth is, there are so many parts to building out a profitable and impactful coaching business. And part of that is doing the deep inner work with yourself first and foremost, so that you can show up fully for your clients. And I am beyond passionate to teach you each step along the journey. But there's no way to teach everything over 3 days and 3 sessions. But my deep desire is to lock arms with you to help you to increase your income and your impact as a highly sought after coach. And I want to talk about how I can support you at doing that. My question is, you are so good at this. How do we know what to say? Wonderful question. So we actually have an Elevate Method manual that has let me pull it up for you. I'm going to show you guys on the screen. So it actually has the information fully in it. So that you're able to see the amazing stuff in here. So there's, I don't know, I told you guys, I was trying to guess like 370 pages of amazing, scientifically worked on, scientifically backed tools that you can use. This has become my toolbox. So when I have a client dealing with something, I go to this and I say, what can I do to support them? Not only do I hold space for them, which is obviously first and foremost, I'm encouraging, but then I go here and I say, what can I bring together for them? How can I support them with this? And the more you practice it, the more confident you feel with these modalities. And I use these with my daughters. I was going to say my students. I use these with my students in my Elevate Method. I use this with my daughters. I use these with clients on one-on-one, and it is so amazing. I use it personally too. There's a lot of times I'll create recordings for myself to push myself through this process. So wonderful, wonderful question. So what I want to introduce you to is actually the Elevate Method. Great timing for the question you just asked, because inside of the Elevate Method, this is exactly what we teach. We teach you how to effectively move your way through creating this profitable and impactful brand. From your passion. So yes, we can definitely talk about that for sure. So essentially what's happening is you're doing the inner work on yourself. You learn these tools, you embody these tools, and then you show up fully as the coach that you're called to be through using these modalities. So I want to talk a little bit about this program. With the Elevate Method certification program, it is 7 certifications in 1 program, and it's board approved. So we have time techniques, emotional freedom techniques, neuro-linguistic practitioner, human design, clinical hypnotherapy, the Elevate method, and then life and success coaching. So combined, okay, we can definitely chat about that too. So combined, you're coming through this program and walking away with 7 certifications to help you not only stand out as a coach, but to be able to sell out as a coach with your offers as well. So let's break it down if you're not familiar with some of these modalities. NLP is the user's manual for the mind, and it's the way that we use our basic language of our mind to achieve the results that we want in our lives. So we're using our mind, which is our nervous system, linguistic, all about our language, our communication, and our patterns, and the programming, the ways that different programs and patterns and strategies have run through our life, and the way that we can have them work together in our favor to help us achieve the goals that we desire. And then we have the life and success coaching portion of it, which is a $15 billion industry that is said to grow tremendous. I think by like 2025, it's supposed to grow to like 30 billion or something, like double. It is crazy. But with this certification, you're becoming a life and success coach, helping people to not only show up fully in their lives, but to create the success that they desire and deserve. And you have scientifically backed tools that help you to be able to effectively do that. Then we have emotional freedoms techniques, which is all about using different meridian points on your body. And we talked about that. We walked through that. And with this, you're creating an energetic balance and a safe space in your body to call in the things that you want. Also with the NLP, I forgot to mention this, we used one of those tools I think it was the first day when we anchored in confidence. And there's so many more. There's mapping across and single belief change and swish. And there's so many other strategies for other things that come up and are presented to other people, are presented by your clients as well as yourself. But with EFT, you're able to teach your clients how to manage their energy effectively, how to remove negative emotions, and help them to be able to access it easily. Then we have time techniques, which is an amazing technique that helps you to eliminate negative emotions, disempowering beliefs, and limiting decisions from the past while creating and setting achievable goals to create a compelling future. And with this certification, you're able to help clients who are dealing with deep-seated emotions that have lingered since childhood. So we can use time techniques like we use today, but you can use it to break the hold that old emotions or situations or limiting beliefs have had on them. Then we have hypnotherapy, which is a type of psychotherapy, which is used to create a focused state of attention. And it's not like what we see on like stage hypnosis. It's literally helping people to create suggestions with their own thoughts that are embedded in their mind that they get to move toward. And it's a powerful way to leverage the amazing, amazing superhuman computer that the subconscious mind is. And you can remove limiting beliefs, shift habits, behaviors, and make rapid transformation. All right. And I say rapid, I mean quick. Human design is the new one that we've added in, and human design is basically how you are genetically designed to be. We are all designed differently. The problem is we typically approach life from this one size fits all model, and it can become overwhelming when we're trying to put ourselves into something that we're not made to do. And so human design is a scientific approach that helps you to better understand your unique genetic design, okay? And it helps you to not only understand it, but it helps you to leverage it and to show up with it, which is extremely powerful. And it'll help shed light on who it is that you are inherently supposed to be and who you're designed to be. When I learned my human design, I stopped trying to show up in business the way that all the high people, in business were telling me I had to show up. I showed up as me, and it changed the game tremendously for me. So with the Elevate method, I'm running a special. When you join the Elevate method today, you get living aligned by design. It's a training all about using your human design and living your life according to it. So life-changing. You get the Passion to Profit Course Creation Academy. Thank you for the love, where you get to learn how to create a profitable online course. You get the 6-figure profit from your purpose. So all about how do you profit from your purpose, what you know you're called to do, which is a mini course. You get Tapping into Abundance, which is all about energetically aligning yourself to call in the abundance that you desire and deserve, and just wrapping your energy and your mind around that. Sorry, I should back that up. So you get 4 bonuses by signing up. And then I want to dive in and talk about why this program is amazing. So Siobhan is one of my clients, one of my former clients. She actually is a trainer now inside of my certification program, which has been amazing. But Siobhan is a stepmom coach who had plenty of ideas for her business, no clue where to begin. So Siobhan went on and got certified. She actually went through like my beta round. So there's been a lot of upgrades and changes, but even through that round, she had a phenomenal transformation. She now has a #1 ranking Step Family podcast. She has a monthly membership on Mighty Networks. And then she actually recently closed a $30K pay in full client contract where she's doing some corporate work, which has been like so profound and so powerful. These are a couple like screenshots from client. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are a couple screenshots from clients that I worked with. So one client wrote me and she said, hey, I'm about to sign my first client. I don't know how to do a contract. Would you be willing to help me? And she wrote me and talked about this. And this was probably about 2 weeks into her working with me inside the Elevate method. And the great thing about the Elevate method, as you'll see here, is I said, yeah, in the portal, we actually have templates because I want people to be able to have these tools to be able to build this business. The last thing I need is to teach you all the amazing tools of like, oh yeah, you can, do a time technique session, or you can do an anchoring session, or you can do a tapping session, or mapping across, or whatever, but you don't actually know how to even onboard or bring on a client. And so I teach you these foundational tools. Thank you guys. Thank you. I teach you these foundational tools that let you build this amazing business. Another client said, this is me all day today. I'm literally on cloud 9. Thank you so much. I know we haven't done much together yet, but I really believe this is a sign from God. I'm on the right track. And I know hiring you was a great investment. So this is a client that's worked with me and she joined. And this was the first week that she signed up. She got a 2K contract, which was absolutely amazing because she started with the mindset work. It all starts up here. I could teach you systems, strategies, and hustle all day. But if your mind isn't aligned, none of that's going to matter. Another client wrote, oh my gosh, this program has changed my entire life. You don't know what you don't know until you find out. I feel like everyone needs to learn these tools and now I get to do it. Dr. Nicolia, thank you. Thank you. So this was a client of mine who signed up with a hypnosis session with me and then went on to join the program so that she could use that work with her clients as well. Another client wrote, well, I'm blown away. Literally, I just did the mapping across we learned on my friend, and she paid me because she said the session was so good. And she told her coworker, and now I'm working on my hypnosis certification. So I already have a client waiting and ready to pay me. This was the best investment ever. I'm elevating, and I just began. Another client, Dr. Nicolia, is this real life? I'm about to sign my first client. Let the onboarding begin. This is another client that started working with me. She said, I took the leap of faith and started working with Dr. Nicolia just 2 short months ago. Since then, I have not only narrowed down my niche in business, which I don't necessarily force niches because I also recognize based on design, some people should niche and some people shouldn't. I am not a nicher, but I do support those that are designed to niche. I created my first membership and brought on 3 clients. I've been weaving in some mindset tools and my clients are so impressed because in their words, it's unlike anything I've ever learned. If you've been wondering what you should do, I say, just do it. Working with Dr. Nicolia changed everything for me, seriously. So she actually just launched her membership at the end of last month and sent me this. So I'm really, really pumped and excited for her. So if you have found a value in the time that we spent together, and more importantly, you are ready to show up for your vision, you're done hoping, wishing, waiting, and wondering when it can happen or when you can see it through, and you're ready to actually bring this vision to life, I would love to invite you to join us inside of the Elevate Method Certification Program. And if you're ready to make that happen, you can head to NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate. All right, NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate. There, you can complete your application. After that, my assistant, my other trainer, and myself, we will review your application. We want to make sure that you feel like an aligned fit for the program. And then from there, we can set up that next step, whether that's you have more questions, whether that is you are ready to say yes, you're ready to dive in and get started. We can talk about that. Great news too, we have financing options. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to DM me. This is something that we've recently added to the program, which I'm really, really excited about because one thing that I value so deeply is to make sure that this program is accessible for everyone that's ready to be here. Okay. So you can head to NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate. With this program, you're getting the coaching, the community, and the certification to see your vision through. So I'm not just giving you a certification, like a certification factor, and like, here's your 7 certifications, go about your way, figure it out, and washing my hands with you. I'm creating the coaching around what do you do with this certification? You get to really practice it firsthand, jump on calls with my trainer, with myself, and practice these tools firsthand, get feedback, real-time feedback, so that you feel fully supported and you feel confident when you show up with your clients. You're also getting the certifications, like I mentioned, the 7 certifications, including my proprietary Elevate process. And you're getting the community of like-minded people that want to support you at Seeing Your Vision Through, because they're also working on amazing and powerful things. And it's been so amazing to see how the women inside of my program have really just filtered and grown, not filtered, but grown and expanded their own relationships amongst each other. It's just so beautiful. We have 4 guest speakers in, and then we have 1 coming in soon to talk all about launching and strategies around launching. So I like to bring in guest speakers when I find powerful people that I know can support you. You're getting intimate access to me inside of our Facebook group. You have that expansive community and those no-brainer bonuses, which are absolutely amazing. For the first 3 people who sign up, you're going to get a free bonus intensive call with me. The first 5 people will also, these are some added bonuses that I added in, will get a bonus training on leveraging the power of video, which has been amazing because I mean, reels and lives and stories, video is the jam right now. So you might as well learn how to leverage it. And then those who sign up by Saturday will get one of my best-selling courses, which is Money Mindset Bootcamp. So we have totally revamped and remodeled and up-leveled this program, and it's changed tremendously, even since the beginning of the year. And so I want to make sure that you get in quickly. There is also right now a temporary discount on the page with $555 off, which will last until tomorrow at midnight. So if you are on the fence about this and you're ready to get in, I would take action, and I would take action fast. All right. It is time for you to elevate. So head to NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate. I would be so honored and excited to be able to support you at seeing this entire vision through. So thank you so much for joining me today. If any questions pop up, any personal questions pop up, and you want to know maybe how this can work for you, feel free to DM me. Either myself or a member of my team will definitely be responding to that ASAP. I want to make sure that we support you at making an aligned decision, because I'm a firm believer that the energy we make a decision in is the energy we carry throughout that decision. And I want you to feel aligned with that decision. All right. So feel free to shoot me a DM if any questions come up. Other than that, I would head to NicoliaWilliams.com/elevate so that you can submit your application, and we'd love to support you at Seeing Your Vision Through. Let's make it an absolutely amazing day, guys. I will check in and chat with all of you later. And actually, you know what? We're a little bit early on time. If you want me to stay on for any last minute questions, I see a couple of people still here listening, tuning in. If there's any last minute questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes to see if anything's coming up. Right before the call, I accidentally sat on my water, so it's a little smashed. I apologize about that. All right. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time, because I know time is our most valuable resource. And so I just want to honor the decision that you made to show up here, and just thank you for that. I trust that you've received some massive things today, and that this is going to continue to embed over the next couple of days, and things are going to continue to change because of the way that we've embedded it in your timeline. It's going to continue to change even down into today and tomorrow and moving forward. Oh, good question. Do you travel for collaboration? Yes. So I do travel for like speaking engagements and such. So definitely feel free to DM me. Wonderful question. Wonderful question. I love being able to like I mentioned, to create a ripple effect. So being able to like support people all over. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to supporting you at Seeing Your Vision Through. Let's make it an amazing day, guys. Bye.